I shared this trade in my Telegram channel and we're all in good profits. If you're not in there, I think you should check the description of this video to join immediately. All right, and I promised you guys I was going to do a breakdown as to why this trade worked. Okay, so this also happened. I went to the H1 time frame, the 1 hour time frame, and by the way, we traded the NUT USDT pair on the Bybit platform. Of course, this is futures trading. The concept here can also be applied if you trade Forex, like trade gold and the likes. All right, you can also apply the concepts, and of course I've got a course on this. Do check the links in the description of this video if you want to learn the process or the strategies I'll be describing here. All right, or just check the playlist section of this YouTube channel. All right, so first I had to establish a directional bias. I had to establish the trend. So I went to the 1 hour time frame, and as we all can see here, this was in a complete downtrend. All right, it was falling, got to this point, there was a pullback to this point, and then it started retracing. Okay, so what I did was I knew the trend was bearish, so what I was trying to do was to find a good place to still enter the trade, to still short the market. All right, so I had to first establish a number of POIs. All right, so first we can see that from here it was in an uptrend a little bit. This was a pullback and this was a low. All right, so it moved up, broke this recent lower high. All right, broke it at this point, so we had a break of this level, and it continued creating higher highs till it got to this point. All right, but as I said earlier, because it failed to break above this level, I knew it was going to continue downwards. All right, so what I did was I looked for POIs right around this level. So I saw a fair value gap here, all right, which was closest to this inducement. So why was I looking for a POI closest to this inducement? Because I noticed this inducement was not enough for me to look for a liquidity sweep for me to take a shot around this region. All right, so I'm going to say that again. You can see this move towards this direction. All right, if this pullback got up to around this region, I would have been expecting the markets to still come back, sweep that level, and then sell from here. So because this was small, I had to look for the closest POI to this, and it was this fair value gap. Okay, so what I did was I had to go to the lower time frame. So now I'm on the 10 minutes time frame. This was the pullback I was talking about. So you can see this was a pullback creating an inducement. All right, I'm acting with flat line right there. So I was expecting the market to come back and sweep that liquidity, sell from this level, but the market didn't do that. The market continued downwards. All right, so what I had to do was I had to also look for another key zone, another area of interest. All right, just as I did, right, because the market is still giving me a bearish sign, so I had to look for another key zone, and that was a bearish order block on the 10 minutes time frame. So I had my order block around this region. All right, and then I noticed there was a number of swings here creating equal highs and equal lows liquidity. All right, if you've seen my video on liquidity concepts, you would understand what I mean by that. All right, so I was expecting a sweep of liquidity. So having observed these equal highs and equal lows liquidity, I was expecting the market to come back to sweep this liquidity, because we've not had a liquidity sweep judging from my analysis so far. All right, so I was expecting the market to sweep it. So you can see I marked it with an arrow, and then there was a bearish order block somewhere above it. So I was expecting the market to swing and sweep all of this liquidity, all right, and then sell. And that was what the market did. So the market was swinging, and then what did it do? It got to this point, then went back up, all right, swept all of these liquidities here, all right, and then sold from that region. So it was at this point I called this trade. I posted it in my Telegram group. If you join my Telegram group using the link in the description of this video, you are going to see the trade when I posted it, all right. So when I noticed that there was a sweep of these liquidity zones here, I expected the market to sell, but I didn't just jump into the trade. What I did was I was looking for a confirmation, something that would establish my entry. All right, so what was it? I was just looking for a candlestick pattern to form, a bearish candlestick pattern. I already knew the market was going to continue in the downward direction. So what candlestick pattern did I see? So let me go to the 5 minutes time frame to show you clearly the candlestick pattern I saw. By the way, if you don't know, what I'm already doing is top 10 analysis, explaining to you how you can scale from a higher time frame like the 1 hour time frame to the 10 minutes and then to the 5 minutes time frame. So on the 5 minutes time frame, the moment the market got to my POI or my order block, what I did was I was paying attention to the candlestick patterns that were forming. First, there was a doji right into that zone, all right, and then there was a red candle, and then notice what happened. We had a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern. Can you see it? There was a green candle followed by that long red candle that confirmed the bearish trend for me, and I jumped into the trade. And what happened? The market started selling from there. It kept selling. Can you see? It kept selling, and I left the market around this region, ladies and gentlemen. So the market kept selling from that position. Actually, I had wanted to use the limit order to enter the market. I was targeting my entry around 0.3700, right? But the market didn't get to that price. I had to readjust my entry immediately, right? Because I noticed the market wasn't going to get to that point. It had already swept this liquidity. There was no point getting to that level. So I looked for my entry confirmation strategy on the 5 minutes time frame, and that was simply a candlestick pattern, and that was simply the bearish engulfing candlestick pattern. If you've not seen my videos on candlestick patterns, I would advise you check the linked video in the description, or just check the playlist section of my course. I've got a number of videos, about 5 videos there, that will teach you everything you need to know about how to trade the futures market and even Forex, all right? Free of charge, of course, all right? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that was what I saw that led to me calling this trade when I did, all right? So that was the explanation. Of course, I'm already out of the market and I already made some profit, and those of you that joined are pretty much in profits now, right? So I'm going to be dropping more trades in our Telegram group, and then of course I'll do a video breakdown like this to explain what happened. If you've not seen my course, again, as I've said, check the links in the description. This is Pixel Bees, and it's Get Ken signing off for now.